Yo, what's good, baby? You already know what it is, man. Island Guy Talk podcast, man. JaayUus and Kingmeechyyy in here. JaayUus and Kingmeechyyy in here, man. You already know, man. We here.
I'm fucking with it. I'm glad you let us know that we here, cause the show must go on.
It must go on. It must
like
go
no
on.
matter the fuck what. And I'm glad we here today, man. Glad we here on this wonderful Thursday, man.
Mm-hmm.
How you been? How was your week so far?
It was a pretty good week, very productive week. You know, we had MLK Day, you know what I'm saying, this week. It's always good. Always good to know your past. You know, I feel like knowing history is kind of part of knowledge of self. So
Definitely. Because, you know, they say history repeats itself.
it does repeat itself, and the winners write history. So a lot of shit you really got to, like, dig deep and, like, do real research. Because you can't listen to everything they told you in school. Because if you do, you're going to be just following blindly behind the powers that be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's another thing. Blindly in the blind is never a good idea. Make sure you always fact check. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter what you see, I feel like...
No matter what anybody tell you, no matter what we tell you, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always good to do your own research on anything, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Because I got some shit you need to do research on, for real. Because why do women cheat?
Why do women cheat?
Yeah, I need to know this for myself. for real.
I think mostly it has to do with all their boxes not being checked, or it's either that, and then you also have like women who weren't taught to. Usually, a lot of women that didn't have fathers, they weren't taught the way they were supposed to be treated by a man, so they end up using their body to get things, and then they find themselves with men that they don't really like. They just like what the dude has, so that. And then you also have hypergamy, which is just a lot of women have that natural ability, like a natural like feeling just to like move into a better situation. It's usually feelings involved whenever it happens, you know. So
yeah, definitely feelings. So you saying women not like men? They don't just cheat because they see a cute.
Yeah, like for men, like sex is like fucking taking a piss, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's more like for guys, like sex and love it's not equated. For women, more so like sex and emotion are kind of like, they put those together because usually they're not having sex with a dude that they wouldn't want to be with long term. Versus men, I always like to say, like, women, what they would have sex with and what they would want to be in a relationship are somewhat on the same level for like most women. And guys, like, what we would have sex with could be down here, and then who we would wife would be up there. So
definitely, I feel like that's how it should be for most men.
Yeah, that's how it should be, and that's really how it is. Is you got dudes that will really like fuck anything, but they won't be with anything. And you do have the guys that are over here on the side, and these guys will get in a relationship with one of the lower quality women just because like that might be their only way to get consistent pussy. So
Definitely. And I literally, you hit it on the head with that one. I totally agree. Like, I feel like when a woman cheats, it gotta be, well, she sees something she likes. Like, she actually does have some kind of connection to him. Like, granted, I feel like there may be do you think there's ever a rare case like a woman just sees somebody and be like, damn, I want to fuck him?
I think, yeah, like the women who've been through a lot of men already, and they just kind of have that mindset that sleeping with a bunch of guys is something to be empowered about, or they think it's like gonna liberate them. To me, the best way a woman can be sexually liberated is to be in control of herself and to be exclusive about herself, not just letting any dude fuck. To me, that's a sexually liberated woman, because she's controlling what's going on. She just not sleeping around with a bunch of dudes. But yeah, I think any woman that's like that, she like has some type of trauma in her past, or father issues, or things of the sort. Most women, if they're cheating, it's like an emotional connection involved, and they feel like that dude is giving her something that this dude isn't.
Definitely. But like, I feel like it's so hard as a man, cause like, what else could you want? Like, let's say you're paying the bills, right? Cause this happens in everyday society. You're paying the bills, you're doing everything, but like, you got to think if you're working a job, you're away from home.
Yeah.
So that gives opportunity for her to cheat. But it's still like, what do you do?
I mean, first you don't fuck with a bitch that got that much time in her hands. Like, I don't mind is the devil's playground. Like, that's for men and women. Like, if she got time to just sit and look through her DMs and just scrolling on Instagram all day, like, yeah, she might end up talking to another dude. Especially if you don't got that like real like masculine energy about yourself, where like, and you know what I'm saying, you really like taking control and handling shit sexually and non-sexually, like you just doing your thing, you know what I'm saying, like you probably won't have to worry about that. But if she just, I don't know, I just feel like if you're not trying to be the best version of yourself possible and a woman can't sense that, then she's liable to cheat on the dude. Like, say you don't have the best looking body, like, can you really blame her for she's at work working a slave job and she glanced down at the dude abs poking through his shirt and she start feeling a little lust because of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like in society kind of puts like men and women in these situations, because ideally, like, you don't really want your woman to work for another man. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's just like her having to be somewhat submissive to another man because of a job title. That's really not a good feeling. But it's like society kind of puts us in those situations because of capitalism. Like, you need money to survive. So
I say capitalism, but it's capitalism. That's a whole different topic. Capitalism is a two-sided sword, real life. But at the same time, but what do you do then? Because, but let's say you gotta still provide, and it's hard to like. I mean, and as a man, I feel like it's hard to still go to the gym, provide for a woman, and then you still gotta please her sexually, like emotionally support her.
yeah.
So I feel like if she's still cheating at that point, like.
I mean, to me, if you're doing everything, like, if you're being the best version of yourself and it's happening to you still, like, one, really take a hard look in the mirror and, like, think about, like, wow, her bitch is cheating on me. And
especially
two,
if it's a repetitive thing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
With their
even
if
if
getting cheated on.
Yeah, like, if it's different women that's cheating on you and stuff like that, like, you really need to take a hard look in the mirror, or just take a hard look at the type of energy you carry and the type of woman that's attracting. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of dudes that all they do is show money, they end up getting cheated on because that's all they're showing a woman. And it's like, all right, yeah, you got you out of shape dude, and but you got money and shit like that. Like, yeah, your wife, she might be lusting over a dude with a nice body, or the pool boy, or the lawn boy, or whatever. Like, she might be looking at those dudes because it's like they have something that you don't. And
Definitely.
that's just like the best things in life are literally free. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely. But really, if your bitch is cheating on you, you gotta leave her. Just
oh yeah. If she's doing that, she even thinking about doing that, like, you catch premeditated shit, and like, nah, you gotta leave her, because you have to have, like, as a man, we have to have zero tolerance policy for cheating. Any of that behavior, like cheating, flirting with other dudes, all that shit, because it's a slippery slope. Once you allow a little something or take somebody back for something, they're gonna know they can get away with it again. And as men, is nowadays especially, like, we can't allow that.
Definitely.
You gotta have more self-respect, and like, I don't give a fuck how much you like her or whatever. Like, if her ass fucking with other dudes, you gotta bounce.
Definitely. I feel like that's what it is self-respect. Because if you go back to a girl that cheated on you, you lack self-respect.
You lack self-respect. You lack self-love, man.
Definitely. You can't love yourself, because why would you put yourself back in that predicament? Oh, she didn't change. I promise you, she didn't change. She didn't change in that last 2 weeks. She was just bouncing on that nigga dick.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well go pack your bags up and hit the gym. No kissy. And just work on yourself.
Work on yourself and getting a different energy and a different vibe about yourself, where you attracting better quality women that know better and that aren't so fucking promiscuous, that all they think about is sex, and they don't have fucking roses and dildos and going ham on themselves every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff. It just like how like masturbation and hypersexuality fucks with our minds as men. Same for women. It's gonna fuck with their mind.
It definitely will. And I feel like that's a sleeper because I feel like growing up, we think women are so innocent. I know I did. Growing up, I thought women were innocent as flowers, like could never do nothing wrong. Because that's what are portrayed in movies, is it not?
I mean, yeah, somewhat. I
like
mean,
Cinderella, let them tell her she ain't do shit wrong. I bet you she was fucking up.
to me, it's more so about the ones you pick because there are a lot of like innocent and good women, and me, I was kind of known for like fucking up the good. I was kind of known for like getting with the good woman, and then after me, they turn into kind of like
Trauma.
Not like hoes, but basically, you know what I'm saying? Like they be like just the trauma of like being in a like toxic relationship. It would end in them kind of just going crazy, but it's like I don't know why like I had that effect, but I just did. So
yeah, but like I feel like that's some shit you need to look in the mirror. Like you should ask yourself that. Why?
I mean, like I know because it was a toxic thing, and like all my younger relationships, they were hypersexual. Like I was cheating on them, and only time when I was with them is like the only thing I was on my mind is like sex. So I was objectifying them, which probably led to them objectifying themselves. Also, some part of them probably didn't want to get in anything serious just in case, like, I come back around or something like that. So,
definitely.
Combination of all that stuff, basically.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. You was toxic, bro. But, like, I feel like it's not just you. A lot of people are like that. Like, a lot of men are like that, but they don't necessarily know. Like, when you was in this phase, did you know, like, hey, this shit is wrong?
I mean, to be honest, I still go kind of back and forth on it, on what was wrong and what wasn't. I don't think like it's our natural like male ability to want to like spread our seed as far as wide as possible. So I just think the manner, I wasn't taught the correct way to go about that. Like I was lying, selling dreams, playing with girls' heads and all that stuff. And like to me, like yeah, that part about it was wrong because like I was gaslighting women, which is just
before
like
gaslighting was a thing.
Yeah, like before like it became mainstream, like I was literally gaslighting them. Like they'd have literal proof about me doing something, or got like first-hand account from another girl about me doing something, and I still, my motto was literally deny, and all else fails, deny some more.
Deny till you die.
Yeah, and it's like I learned my lesson after, like, it was one girl I had that she actually ended up leaving me, like, after, like, the first strike. So that kind of made me, like, think twice about doing shit, especially when you have, like, a good woman. But, yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, that's good for her. Good for that girl.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was, like, yeah, I fucked up. I put myself in a position, and, like, so she actually went to your high school, but it's a whole different story. Like, I met her during my senior year. Damn. After, like, the season I got surgery on my foot because I broke my foot and all that, and she was, like, the one, like, really there, kind of, like, taking care of your boy. And then, like, and she was a virgin at the time, and that was, like, rare to senior year. By the time that, everybody basically fucked, but she was a virgin, so after a while I got on the boot, and then she was like, if you wanna, like, I was trying to mess with her, trying to put the smooth booty on her and get in her pants and all that. She was like, I only would do that for my boyfriend. So I'm like, I'm your boyfriend then. Like, we've been chilling for a while. Like, what you mean? Like, so she let me hit that night. She really was a virgin. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Blood certified?
Yeah, blood certified. Yeah, like, not surprising because a lot of girls will lie about stuff like that, especially during that time when you still in high school. But
yeah, there's not too
literally, when she was leaving, my little brother, he was bringing two girls that were also on the cheerleader team with her. And she was like, don't. She basically told me, like, don't fuck this shit up on the first day we together type shit. So that night, I just chilled with the girls and my brother for a little bit. Then I went upstairs and went to sleep on my own. But then they came back the next night and brought another friend, and they was plotting on me. They Yeah, they was plotting on me. They brought bottles and it was kept trying to get me to take shots, kept pouring drink in my mouth and all that shit.
Driving the boat?
Yeah, like before niggas was really driving the boat, like they pouring liquor in my mouth, like they was plotting on me. Then the joint, like she sits beside me and she like, the new joint they brought over, because two of the girls already came over the night before, but the third one she comes and she just started talking about sex and stuff, and then she's like she's a virgin. I'm like, why? Like, said the right guy never tried. So I was like, so what if I try? And then she's like, yeah, okay. So I'm like, oh bet. Like we walk upstairs, literally I put the tip in. She's like, oh my god, we gotta go. I stop, because hey,
No means no.
you can
Good
get
job.
consent in the beginning, but if she says no during, that means stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, women are able to take away consent. Yeah. So then I stopped. Her and her friends, they rush out and leave, and then I fucked up. I hit the girl up and like I was like, don't tell so and so, the other girl that I was dating at the time. And little I know, yeah, she tried to act like she ain't know, and she like, are you dating JaayUus? And she like, and the girl at the time, she sends me the screenshot. And I'm like, yeah, to go ahead and tell her I'm your boyfriend. And then she's like, then I guess she started telling her the shit, but she started exaggerating, say I ate her pussy and all type of shit. So, and I didn't know that because I didn't go to that school at the time, so I didn't know what the cheerleaders were saying in school, what the rumors was. But after I found all that out, like it made sense why Shorty kind of swerved on your boy.
Definitely. That's just a sticky situation, though.
Yeah. And then it was like once she started, like I was lying about it at first as well when she first confronted me about it, and then like a week or two later, she ended up breaking it off.
Definitely. She probably, that girl, you think she was a virgin for real or no?
What, the other one?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. It's like them bitches was plotting on me that night, and I fell for it, and like, but that's a lesson, because hey, later on in life, like the more in control of your sexual energy you are, the better you gonna have in life, because you won't get put into situations where your whole empire might be in jeopardy because you fucking with just anybody, you know?
Hell yeah. But speaking of that, do you think if you were more in control of like your actions, would have went different?
Yeah. I mean, I was in control of my actions. It just was the actions I was choosing at the time, being young, dumb, and full of cum. Like the actions I was choosing at the time, they just wasn't what to me, like at the time, they were the correct choices. Like, but yeah, like I was doing what I wanted to do, but if I knew that what I wanted to do wasn't going to really achieve me anything, then yeah, I would have been thinking differently.
Definitely. But like I feel like that was so circumstantial, like evidence, because she was plotting on you. Like if they was legit trying to get you drunk, I feel like they was a setup. Like they probably knew that girl was like, oh, they fucking with JaayUus. I want to break them up. I want to fuck JaayUus too.
I mean, it was some of that going on, because like I knew a lot of girls on that.
You was that nigga.
Yeah, and I knew a lot of like girls on that cheerleading squad as well. So I feel like it was definitely a setup, because the girl tried to play dumb after, like, oh, I didn't know y'all were together and all that. Like, come on now, you fucking knew. But yeah, it's just like we gotta be smarter and realize when shit might be a setup, because hey, the Matrix might send. Me and you might be at a hotel in fucking Vegas, and the Matrix might send some young shorties. Yeah, they might send some young shorties to us to try to like get us fucked up, and next thing you know, they screaming the R word, and it's an R word versus theirs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
we gotta have discernment when it comes to like anything like that.
Definitely. That's why it's so important to make good decisions, and like especially when you're drinking, make sure you're drinking with good people. So like a lot of that stuff doesn't have to happen.
It was weird. It's literally everything, like even up to this moment right now, which y'all watching, like us and y'all, we're literally what's going on with us right now is the sum of all of our decisions prior in life, you know?
Hell yeah. It definitely is. Boom. But I'm glad you told that story, because that was a great story about literally how your actions are so
important.
Hell yeah. Important as fuck. Important as fuck. Every action you make is important as fuck, and it's literally gonna lead to your future.
And like it's like the easier actions to do, which is like be lazy, eat whatever you want,
beat your dick.
Yeah, like basically everything that's seen as like a sin or haram, or just like everything that's seen like wrong by people, like those are usually the easier choices to make. Yeah. The harder choices to go to the gym, to read, to eat healthier foods, to get a healthy amount of sleep, to sacrifice on certain things and miss out on certain things for the future. Like those are always going to be the quote unquote harder actions to take, but you need to embrace the idea of something being hard. Like just because something is considered like hard, like say you want to learn a new discipline of any type of martial arts, or you want to learn how to play chess, or you want to learn some advanced theoretical physics, or like whatever you want to learn, basically you should welcome challenge in your life, and that's one thing that will definitely help you make better decisions.
It definitely will. And I like that, because really if you have like an easy choice and a hard choice, or let's say they're not necessarily easy hard, let's say you got two choices on your hand, you can do either or. Whichever one's the harder choice is probably the better choice for you. I've learned that just in the past like year. Like I'm like, if I make the hard choice now, it's gonna be easier later on down the road. If I take the easy thing now, it's gonna be harder down the road.
Yeah, it will. Like, and usually those easy choices, they lead to you severing bridges, and like anybody can grab. You don't even need a weapon. Anybody can commit a robbery. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you can go run up on a plug and rob the plug. But if you rob the plug, boom, that's a connection that you just fucked up. No matter how much money you just got from that plug, or how much product, like whatever you got from the plug, no matter how much it's worth, that's nothing compared to what you could have made working together with that person and keeping that relationship and not having dirt and salt on your name. And you can't even be mad at that type of dirt and salt on your name if people don't want to do business with you because they heard about something you did with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta keep all that in mind when you making decisions. And I know that's, the younger you are, the kind of harder you is. It's so easy to say fuck it, especially like if you're a minor. A lot of things like niggas was more reckless because you knew like I can't get in but so much trouble. As you get older and become an adult, you start to get more cautious when it comes to like anything that could take away from your empire and take away from your path, and as you should, because you can fuck your shit up making the wrong decisions.
You definitely can. That's why it's literally important to make the hard choices now, so later you can just chill. I tell myself all the time, like I work so hard now. I work hard now just so when I'm older I can chill. Like nobody really wants to be like 50s. Like I say nobody wants to. I say really 30. Like by the time I hit 30, yeah, I'm gonna still be like working, but I'm doing shit I want to do.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to be. You do not want to be working for nobody else, or
you want to be doing things you love. Like anything that's work, it's not gonna feel like work if you love to do it. And that's why sometimes in your younger years, like me, I had to eat shit for almost 3 years working at Amazon before I got to the position I was at. But I made that decision to make those sacrifices, get up at 4 a.m. every morning, make it a time on work, miss out on stuff on the weekends, on Saturdays, be in early on Saturdays because I know I gotta work Sunday morning at 4 a.m. Like I made those decisions to eat shit for those years, using that job as a stepping stone, and those were some of the best choices I made in life because now I'm at a position where everything I do now is for myself.
Exactly, and as I say, must be fucking nice. Not gonna lie, but like while you were going through that shit sucked.
Yeah, it sucked. Like you don't. There's gonna be days you don't want to get up. There's gonna be days you don't want to talk to the people you work with. It's gonna be days you're going through shit, and it's gonna be days you want to feel like leaving, or you rather do something else. But you know, like the more you eat shit, the better the outcome is gonna be. Like, especially if you like while you're working these jobs, learn. Like you pay attention to what's going on in the management. If you want to be a boss, like everybody want to be a boss, but then when they don't understand like the responsibilities and stuff that it actually takes. So that's something you need to think about too before you go into entrepreneurship yourself or whatever you do. If you're gonna be like in charge of anybody, you need to be watching the management, seeing how they act, and every boss not good. Like everybody has shitty managers, but even them, you're gonna learn something. You're gonna learn how not to be a shitty manager. So, but that working.
It literally, and that's all it is. Put the work in now so you can chill later. And we gonna keep saying that shit for the simple fact I'm telling you, I'm legit telling you, it's like it's better to do that shit when you're young, because when you're young, like your body's totally different. Like even being at your age, your body feels different than it did.
I have to stretch and make sure I eat right, eat non-inflammatory foods if I don't want my fucking lower back to be fucking hurting from just even like standing in a warehouse straight too fucking long, just standing in one spot. Like that will give me body soreness if I'm not eating the right things and I'm not stretching daily. And those are choices I gotta make so I don't have that pain and muscle soreness and all that shit later. Like
definitely. So make the good choices now, so you can make the easy, so life can be easy later on.
And know like the I think the other day you was talking about, like after we got off the pod, you was talking about like triggers. Like know what trigger you to make the bad decisions. Like say you have a certain group of friends and you don't really fuck with crack like that, but every time you go around those friends, you just start to do crack. Like, like those friends are a trigger for your crack habit. That's a more extreme example, but yeah, I get what your boy's saying.
Definitely. That shit applies to legit everything. And it's not just, and it's so, and I'm glad you said that shit, because it's not so important that you know your triggers. You have to know every single one of your triggers, because for the simple fact, I don't care what you want to call it, devil, whatever the fuck. Bro, but like the opposition, we gonna call it the opposition knows your triggers. Like they knows what can legit take you off to
whatever, whatever gets you to drift. Like that's whatever negative forces in this world is gonna use against you. Like whatever they can get you to do, that's gonna take you out of your hypnotic rhythm of good decisions. They're gonna put it into you, because literally everything is about rhythm. Like even. That's what habit forming is. Like you're forming a rhythm. Like if I wake up and go to the gym at 5 a.m. every day, after a while, that's going to be a part of my hypnotic rhythm. That's going to be just something that is a part of me. It's part of my identity now. Waking up at 5 a.m. and hitting the gym, like that's just what I do. It's part of your rhythm. And that's the same thing for making bad choices. If you got that habit over and over making bad choices, your rhythm is going to end you up in jail or in some type of bad position.
Definitely. Even worse position, to be honest. And if you've repeatedly made bad decision after bad decision, once you try to make one good decision, that's just going to feel so awkward. You're probably going to go back to making bad decisions. Like, that's literally how it is. So that's why it's so important.
It's going to feel awkward as fuck. And that's the thing. You got to get comfortable with getting uncomfortable at that point.
Definitely. That's why I say it's so important to make good habits and stay in rhythm. Don't get me wrong. You're going to get taken out of rhythm. You are. But it's so important to like get back. And that's part of the learning process. Like over time, you learn how to get back in rhythm. Like if something takes you out, you know how to shake back. Like, hey, it's time to get back. And then
eventually you'll get to a point where you just stop fucking with the things that take you out of rhythm. Like that's when you're going to start reaching that highest version of yourself. Because a lot of people, like, back to like people with addictions and stuff, like, you might be good from that addiction for a few days, but as soon as you have a bad day, you run right back to it, and that's retreating to your old self because of some friction you had trying to move forward. And that's the same thing with like offending somebody. Like, like on these paths, the shit we talking about, like when you're bettering yourself, like it literally might offend the people around you just for no fucking reason. You can't worry about that. You can't let that push you back into making bad choices because everybody wondering why you suddenly making good choices now. Like, fuck that. Like if it offends anybody, like nobody in this world exempt, you know what I'm saying, from having to be cut off because they just on something different. Like, you shouldn't try to spend your time trying to convince somebody. Like, even as a family member, you shouldn't try to, like, if they willing to listen and you got that energy from them, like, they got an open ear, okay, but you should never try to, like, convince somebody on your beliefs. Always check your own beliefs first and make sure that you understand, like, why you do believe something, but you shouldn't have to convince anybody of your beliefs.
Definitely. Ever. You should just walk in. You just walk in your I am. Like, you walk in your new I am. Mm-hmm. That's literally all you do. Straight like that. You don't got to convince nobody. Really, you don't even got to tell them. Like, you walking in it, they're going to see. Mm-hmm. And that's why, like, and it's more so when people do get offended like that, it's not because you've said something or done anything wrong. I promise. They just see you're moving different. Once people see you're moving different, they have a problem with it. Just because you're different. Like, if they don't understand it, they fear it.
A lot of times it offends their personal demons, and it's like, I can't blame, like, if I'm, like, around my dudes, maybe I only smoke weed, but they smoke weed with tobacco, whether it's backwoods or they putting the grabber in it. If I put myself around their demons, I can't be mad if they accidentally try to pass me something that has tobacco in it, knowing that I don't smoke tobacco. Like, that's their subconscious just doing what it does. Like, you got to realize other people demons are going to try to pull you. Like, you know, they always say misery likes company, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally other people demons will try to pull you their way. Like, I've had a homie, like, he drinks hella lick, and he was saying, like, oh, he missed one of my other homies because they the only one that can drink as much as him, but their other homies kind of stopped drinking. But it's like, he doesn't even realize that that's his alcoholic demons kind of trying to pull the other homie back into what he does. So
definitely. And I like that. It's literally their demons just latching on to you. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's sometimes...
Don't take it personal. Like.
Hell yeah. But sometimes you do got to separate yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You do got to just like, hey, if you addicted to crack or you just got off of crack for 5 days, nigga around you, you know he gonna smoke crack, don't hang out with him.
Oh, yeah. Like, especially if you know you're not ready to be in a setting with somebody that has something that you was addicted to. Like, you have to love people from a distance from sometimes, and if they a true person of your tribe, like, they're always going to understand that. Like, even if they don't understand in the moment, they'll come to understand it. Like, that's why I say, like, while you're on this journey, literally don't take anything personal. If somebody is getting offended, if they trying to get you to do something that's opposite of your path, like, it's literally no reason to take shit personal. You know, you have to forgive people for their ignorance, or you'll literally be mad at everybody.
Definitely. Because really, they don't know any better. I promise you them. And I feel like a lot of stuff they're not even doing on purpose. They just don't know.
It's literally a part of their identity and what they do. So it's like some people, it's just custom to just offer something like that. We all have this, like, innate ability to want to be social, and part of that is sharing, you know what I'm saying? So, but if they don't have the knowledge to understand, like, oh, what I'm trying to share is bad, it might deter them from their path, then it's literally something they feel is harmless, but it can be so detrimental to your path at the same time. They don't understand it, though.
And they just don't. They don't. And that's why I said, like, forgive them for it, but, like, you can't really hang around them, because, like, either they gonna be doing this right in front of you, and either you can't stand it, or B, they gonna feel some type of way. Like, it's either one or the other. Like,
yeah, and it's like, you don't, while you're on this path, you don't want too many, like, out of sync energies with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're trying to start a business with somebody that's not fully invested into that business, and, like, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, if they're not fully invested into it, and you're trying to do something with them, it's just not gonna work out.
It won't. It is not because it's not like they don't not want to. It's just they physically can't. They're not ready yet. They're not ready.
A lot of times people won't even know it or understand it, why it's not ready yet. But I'm a firm believer, like, this world gonna give you what you're ready for. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like equal balance in the world, and like how we always say, luck plus opportunity. Well, luck plus preparation equals opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Well, luck is preparation and opportunity.
Yeah, we knew what the fuck you meant.
Yeah.
We knew.
Know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're more so prepared and you're just ready for these things, and you aligning your energies with people that are on the same mindset as you, and like that's why like a lot of us, like especially if you look like us, you come from environments where it's not wise to be too friendly, or even to look at somebody. Like, you can get fucking smoked for just looking at somebody in certain hoods and stuff like that. But like, once you get out of that and like you're trying to elevate and get to the real world, like, yeah, you gotta network with people, and you gotta learn how to talk and be friendly and smile and say what's up to the guy walking past. You never know what could come out of that interaction.
Definitely. And that's why I said this life shit, like this whole journey, it's a legit journey. Like, it's so many chapters and stuff. And I'm thinking, like, this is a lot of stuff. We've already went through a lot of this stuff, but we're still going through it. Like, every day you still trying to better yourself. Like, me, just a personal example for myself, that's something that I had to get better at, speaking to people, networking. Like, I was always kind of a shy kid. Like, I never speak to you unless you speak to me. And even then, I still might not want to speak to you. Now, like, you see somebody walking in the door, hold the door for them, say hello. Because you never know who that person is. You never know. That person in Audi, he might be a business owner. Real life. I've legit met business owners in Audi, and you would never know.
Yeah, like, I think you'll, like, and that's just a part of, like, moving around and expansion. Expanding your horizons, going places you normally wouldn't go, going to experience music you wouldn't normally experience. That's going to put you in places and rooms, and you're going to meet people that you never would have met just because you're expanding your horizon. And you don't even always have to take a flight. Like, you could drive 30 minutes, an hour and a half down the road, and just going to another town, and going to a store in another town, or go to an open mic, go to a karaoke night, or go to a different bar, or like go somewhere where you're going to meet like a different type of person. And that's going to just help you grow, like experiencing different cultures, experience anything different from your norm. Like, that's where the growth is.
That's literally where growth is. Because doing the same thing you've been doing, granted, you're going to get better at doing that thing, but you're not going to grow outside of that unless you experience new things. And even if things make you somewhat uncomfortable, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Not gonna lie, like this whole journey, like if you really trying to make it out here, you literally have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, taking action on any shit you want to do that you haven't done before, it's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be that awkward stage. It's gonna be times where you experience like the thoughts of negativity or self-doubt or anything. Like, that shit comes, but you gotta let it go. Like, that's part of like what meditation helps with, is understanding that your thoughts are not you, like, unless you want them to be. So little self-doubt and all that shit, you gotta let that shit come and go to grow. Like, me and him, we both trying to get more active on Instagram. That's something that we have a problem with, and it's just doing it. Like, we know it's gonna be uncomfortable, it's gonna be awkward at first, and that's just what it is. We trying to like fuck what anybody think. Like, us doing more on Instagram, that equals more people coming here to watch the show. So boom, like, that's how we thinking of it. We doing business shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not worried about what anybody think, and we just gonna keep on pushing. We already know it's gonna be opposition, it's gonna be, we gonna have people offended by certain shit we do or say, but at the end of the day, like, we only care about what the people closest to us think. Like, if we even care about what somebody thinks, you know, only the people closest to you,
legit circle.
And those are the people, like, they gotta understand anything we're doing, anything we're saying over here is to help the tribe. We're trying to build something over here. Like, if niggas ain't fucking with it, they ain't fucking with it. But whoever fucking with us, they fucking with us. You know what I'm saying? And we're building something. We trying to generational wealth, freedom of location, freedom of time. You know what I'm saying? Self-sufficiency. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things we trying to build, and this podcast is part of that. So
Exactly. I was about to say that was a great one. That was a great one. And that's just what it is. And if you're not fucking with it, toodly loo. You can't care. You cannot care what nobody else thinks. You can't care what nobody else says. Cause I promise you, you can try to do everything right. Somebody's still gonna have a problem with you.
Like it's nobody in this world, everybody like so.
Not one person. He don't even got to do shit legit wrong. I promise you, somebody out there is not gonna like him just cause.
And a lot of people like this is literally the biggest thing that set people apart. Taking action, I want the people that listen to us, I want niggas to be doing push-ups and sit-ups while they fucking listening to us. I want motherfuckers to they hear something we said that they didn't know. Boom, go do your own research on it, then apply it if it's necessary to your life. You know what I'm saying? We want people taking action immediately. That was part of this podcast. You know what I'm saying? When we dropping out, we're gonna have fun when we have fun, but when we dropping them gems, if it applies to you, apply it instantly. And that's how we need to do the same when we reiterate information or we find new information when we reading books or listening to older guys and stuff like that. Taking information we need and apply it instantly.
Definitely, I like that. Apply it instantly. And if something happens, write the shit down. Because I feel like that's another thing. We think we remember everything. But we be forgetting a lot. So write the shit down.
Yeah,
so
write stuff down. Especially when it comes to social skills and stuff. Those are the easiest things to apply instantly. Self-improvement, you can apply that instantly. You can instantly go take a cold shower. You can instantly work out. So many things. But social skills as well, it's plenty of apps and things. We're going to have our Discord up and running where we just want our fans talking to each other and practicing their social skills. But go outside and go into the store and buy something. Talk to the cashier. Ask them about their day and what's going on. Have a little conversation. And each interaction you have is going to build your confidence. Talk to women. Each interaction with women you have, rejection or not, it's going to build your confidence.
Definitely. And one thing that I've been using recently that's been helping me, I'll be they're just a person, bro. They're just a human. Say that shit before yourself, because sometimes it be weird circumstances. Sometimes I'll be running and I'll be passing by this little girl. I'll be do I want to talk to her because she a little girl? But it's not nothing weird. But I don't want her to freak her out because I am a pretty strong black man myself. But I don't want to scare her type shit. So and then you gotta remember dude, you're just a human. Everybody's
just a human. But I think that's kind of we especially. It's crazy. Black men, we're the most safest to be around statistically, but it's the little white girl in the elevator thing. I think Kevin Hart or something was talking about it, but it's if the elevator came right there and I seen a little white girl in there, I would just by herself, I wouldn't get in the elevator because
you might not want to.
Yeah, it's it just looks bad. You come out at the bottom, it's just you and a little white girl in there, and that's just something I feel it's one of those traumas from. And that's in our DNA from slavery. We don't want to be. We know what the fuck can happen from fucking with white women, especially a little white girl. It's you don't even want to be in that position. So
exactly.
Some of that is that, but I get what you're saying. You just outside running, and it's whatever.
It's nothing to say hello. I just to let you. I spoke. I was hey, bro. She waved back. She was a friendly little white girl, and I kept about my day. Mm-hmm. Legitly. Same thing. And I feel that's so important. At the end of the day, we're all human. Everybody, we're just nobody.
We all human. We all connected at the same time as well.
Yeah. So we be putting people too high.
Yeah, it's that's what it literally is, that pedestal thing. Especially when women that we actually trying to get with, guys have that problem. They putting them up on that pedestal. They put them up on that pedestal, and once they do that, they getting all nervous. The anxiety starts setting in because they're not in the present moment. They thinking about, what if she does this? What if she says this? What if she thinks I'm lame?
What if she tries to touch my penis? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's you gotta be, I don't know, get that dog in you. You know what I'm saying? Develop that shit. You need some edge. Nothing wrong with ego. Nothing wrong with arrogancy. But you have to be in control of it. You can't let it control you. It's your higher, once you merge like your higher self and that lower self and that ego together, like that's when you're gonna that's when you're gonna have complete balance in this realm. I understand? Like you're never gonna be able to be like your full highest enlightenment version of yourself unless you go on like a meditation retreat or you go out in nature for a long time. Because even like, I don't want to speak incorrectly, but I believe like they say Jesus had to like leave and go into nature for a while to reach an enlightenment. Like, I don't know if that's like directly true, but it's something like that along the. Yeah, and I'm like, it just makes sense because you like when you're in Babylon, quote unquote, or you're in a capitalistic society, like you have to operate in a way. If you want to thrive, you have to operate in a way that's not gonna be conducive towards you being like that supreme being of your highest version of yourself. But like, as far as like in this realm, like merging that lower self and higher self and having that balance, like that's where you'll be able to thrive.
Definitely. But first you gotta chase that shit though. I ain't gonna lie. It's not no you gotta always chase your higher self, and then once you get to that higher self, you gonna know when you're at a higher self because you just gonna know. Then that's when you merge. Don't just think you can just do that off.
You can't be on the bridge like trying to reach your path and reach the highest version of yourself and still be like dabbling with your old self.
Yeah.
See, I think there's a difference between like your old self and just like that lower version of yourself, like that more primal version that just wants to be dominant and fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to be in control of that, but still keep that edge of being wanting to dominate and wanting to thrive and be successful. But at the same time, operate in a way where you aren't compromising your integrity, basically.
That's literally it. Don't ever compromise your integrity. Don't ever do that shit. Because that shit is bad vibes.
Like, integrity is a big part of being a man. That's why it's always good for a man to operate in honesty. Now, being realistic, it's not always... like you like, especially thriving in this society, you're not gonna operate in maybe the most honest way. Like you probably won't have to deliberately lie, but have truths or not telling or not even answering questions or not telling the truth. Like you might have to operate in that way, but it's generally best to be as honest as possible because you won't have anything on your conscience.
Definitely is easier to move that way. But that is it for us, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for watching the video. Like the video, subscribe, and let us hear your comments.
Yeah, man. Y'all comment. I already know we on that road to 1K still. We going hard. 2 episodes a week. We got guests coming soon. We got live streams coming strong. Not shroom, but soon and shroom, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like we just gonna keep going hard, keep bringing that fire, keep bringing that pressure. Anything else?
Nah, that's it.
You like
it's fucking Kingmeechyyy and fucking JaayUus.
Yes, sir. We in here, baby. 2 days a week. Y'all check the shorts out. Shout out to the Islanders, the real ones. You know what I'm saying? Because like, we ain't responding to no negativity. We not trying to convince nobody of what the fuck we saying up here. If you ain't with it, you not with it. Go over there. I don't even know why motherfucker be commenting like, fuck y'all, for real. Shout out to Islanders. Like, if you get it, you get it. That's what it is. We not forcing it on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, hey, they just had to catch up. You know what I'm saying? It's okay if they don't get it yet. You just got to catch up. We out. We love y'all.
Love y'all, man.